Hi, friends. I'm Katie.
And I'm Lauren, and welcome to Okay, but Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today, we're recapping and chatting about Bob's Burgers Season 2, Episode 1, The Belchies, and Episode 2, Bob Day Afternoon. So, The Belchies is Teddy tells a story of a hidden treasure inside an abandoned taffy factory that is about to be demolished. So, the kids decide to sneak out and look for the treasure. Meanwhile, Bob and Linda have to have a scheduled sex night, and Linda attempts to make it special by having games and sneaking Bob an enlargement pill. You're just shaking your head. Are you okay?
This episode was a ride.
Welcome to season 2. Every episode in season 2 is a ride.
Oh joy.
In my pure opinion, I was looking at the episodes and I just went the entirety of season 2. There is no bad episodes. These are just the top tier Bob's Burgers that I love.
Yeah. That's fair. That's good though.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love these. I mean, I hope so.
Okay. You're setting the bar pretty high, so.
These make me happy. These are the comfort episodes.
Okay.
So as always, we start with the puns and what you were able to spot.
Yeah, so the exterminator van is changing now.
Yes, it is. So in season 1, this exterminator van never changes. It's the same thing, but now we finally have exterminator vans that change.
Yes, this one was Stan Berman, King of Vermin. We appreciate a nice little rhyming situation. And the abandoned storefront was Uncle Marty's breast pumps.
Which concerns me.
Yeah.
Fun little note, the rat on the van has a crown.
Aw. Well, he's the king of vermin.
Did you see the burgers?
There was only one, I believe, in this one. If there was two, I think there's a second one that I didn't fully catch. The one
There's one.
Okay, there's one. Okay, so did I clock the? Oh yeah, the I'm mad about saffron burger.
Made with no saffron.
Oh, is that what it said?
It says, I'm mad about saffron, and in quotations, made with no saffron.
To be fair, saffron is very expensive.
I was going to say the same exact thing. Saffron is very expensive.
Yeah.
So it's pretty obvious what this episode is a parody of. And if you don't know it, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
I don't know if I caught what this is technically a parody of. Is it?
Goonies.
Wait. Oh, it's the. Oh, that makes sense. I was going to say Indiana Jones.
Oh, no, it's the Goonies.
The Goonies,
the kids.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Speaking of the Goonies, the episode's ending song, Taffy Butt, is a spoof of the Goonies theme song, The Goonies Are Good Enough. Both of the songs, the original and the parody, are performed by Cyndi Lauper.
Interesting. Okay,
I like that. Very excited for that one.
I wrote down Taffy Butt is catchy.
Taffy Butt is catchy, and that is Cyndi Lauper.
Okay, good for her.
And this is our introductory to Zeke. Jimmy.
Oh, do
Jr.'s
we see more of Zeke?
Best friend. Zeke is a very constant character because it's Jimmy Jr.'s best friend.
Okay.
What did you think of Zeke?
I think he was pretty much what I would expect out of like a 13-year-old boy, more or less.
Yeah,
I didn't really have like terribly like strong opinions about him other than he's a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah. Did you happen to see what the sign said inside of the taffy factory when the kids are, doing all their chaotic stuff before they're in the elevator?
No, I don't think I did.
So what is behind the kids when they're licking the equipment is a huge sign hiding the hidden elevator. And it says, Caffrey Taffy Company, no cigars over taffy, cigarettes only.
Okay.
So I guess you couldn't smoke cigars in the factory, but you could smoke cigarettes.
It's an important distinction.
It is a very important distinction. And then my last fun note that I'm really excited for is there are 25 combinations to the sexy dice Bob and Linda use as drawn out.
I did write down sexy dice are literally never sexy.
They're never sexy.
No, they're not.
Like, and why did Bob sit on top of Linda?
That is also my question. I mean, sometimes, the man or the mass presenting person wants to be the one being held, but not on a chair that can barely support one of them.
I just also love that the random chair in the room is definitely from the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Like that, it's like, oh, I see chair on the dice. Let me go grab a chair.
Well, I guess, well, okay, so maybe though, maybe it was like a set of 6 and there's 5 of them, and rather than having one empty chair at the table all the time, they just put it in their room.
That's fair. I never thought of that.
I could see that.
I could see that.
But like, sexy
So,
dice is never sexy. Like, I think it was The Simpsons. They did a joke of it, and like he rolled it one time, and he got lick eyes.
oh my god.
Like, they're never
No,
sexy.
thank you. That
No.
makes my eyes feel weird. That makes my eyes
Oops.
feel really weird.
My
Nope.
apologies.
I want to rub my eyes now. Why? I've never really watched much of The Simpsons, so that was new for me.
Much like my
So
SpongeBob references, I'm glad to bring in some Simpsons references as well.
I would say I'm enjoying it, but my eyes feel like I need to scrub them. Um
Sorry.
You're good. What did you think of this episode?
I thought this one was very fun. I really did enjoy it. I had some fun with the notes and writing things down. Like when they ended up down below
Mhm.
the factory, I just wrote secret tunnel, secret tunnel. Like, I feel like every time anyone does that, you can't not make that Avatar joke. Um, I also wrote down there's nothing wrong with scheduling sex. It prioritizes intimacy. Like sometimes if your schedule is just that hectic, yes, it's
Mhm.
important to have it in the schedule to ensure that you're prioritizing it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that personally. I think good for them that they're trying to maintain a healthy intimate life.
And I will say Teddy is divorced, so I don't think Teddy should be commenting on Bob and Linda's sex life.
No, I also wrote down, yeah, that wasn't a funny joke, Teddy.
Nope,
No,
bad
no,
joke, Teddy.
bad jokes. But overall, I really thought this one was a lot of fun to watch, especially like you've got the combination of the kids creating more mayhem as well as Bob and Linda being Bob and Linda.
And more so Linda being Linda.
Linda being Linda. Maybe we don't drug our husbands.
Don't drug your husbands, please. Tell them if you're giving them one of those pills, because that could really freak a guy out.
Also, like, if they've taken other kinds of medication, I don't think you can combine that with certain things.
Well, wasn't that originally like enlargement pills, stuff like that was for like heart conditions, and it was just
Yes.
a fun side effect
Uh-huh.
that men would get.
Yep.
So I'm glad Bob's okay, but
Uh-huh.
yeah.
But I just wrote down, please don't talk to his penis. Please stop.
Why is his penis a girl?
Yeah, also, why is it a girl? That's also my question.
My brain did not calculate a lot of the things that were being said. There were so many lines in this. The banter was on point.
Yep.
The crazy lines. You had no idea what was coming. But my favorite is still to this day, since I first saw this, Louise arguing and being sarcastic while everyone's about to die.
Sarcasm is not going to solve the problem, Louise.
And then, of course, Taff getting stuck to Bob.
Yep. Also, oh god, he impaled the Taffy monster.
Oh my god.
Good job.
Bob impaled.
Oh my god.
Oh. I
Thank
love
you.
this show.
Thank you, Barbie.
I love your brain. That one broke me. That one broke me. I still haven't seen Barbie. Did you find any like favorite lines through this, or was it just, oh god, this is so chaotic because it doesn't stop?
Yeah, this one was mostly chaotic. One part that I did latch onto was whichever one of the kids, his skill was that he can name the state capitals, and then he said Las Vegas, and I'm just saying to myself, Carson City. Carson City is the capital of Nevada, because I know, unfortunately, I actually do know all of the state capitals because of the stupid song from the Animaniacs, because we learned it in the first grade. We did that as the closing song of like our first grade like pageant situation. I don't know. It was a weird thing we did in the first grade. We had a little we did some songs, and then we did a play, and then because the play had to do with jungle animals, each of us picked a poem from this book of poems about animals. And so we all read the poems about animals, and then we ended with more songs. But like the first song was about the rainforest. The song we ended was the state capitals. I don't know why.
But did you know that the Animaniacs are back?
I did.
We watch them with the kids a lot.
Aw.
Eric will actually start like jumping up and down. He's only 3, so he doesn't exactly say Animaniacs. It comes out a little bit different because he's a
Mm-hmm.
baby. But he'll jump up and down, and go Animaniac, 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 and make us watch
Aw.
it.
I need to read you this meme real quick because it was too funny that Emily sent me the other day. If I can find it. Oh, dang it.
Oh,
Yeah, she was. Oh, here it is. So it's like it's a tweet and then comments below it because someone like posted the screenshot to Tumblr. If you do not stretch in parentheses back, legs, hips, feet, and you know what the Animaniacs are, you need to start doing it for at least 30 minutes daily, or your body will suffer. First comment: I did not realize this was an age thing and not the Animaniacs are coming after you thing. I didn't stretch, and Yakko Warner personally beat me with a sack full of hammers.
please save that meme. We're gonna need that later.
I'll send that to you.
Thank you. I'm gonna need that. That is hilarious. And how do these things keep happening within context for us?
I don't know.
Life is very much lining up with this podcast lately, and I'm just like, what
Absolutely.
is happening?
If we are at the age where if we do not stretch daily, the Animaniacs will come for us.
I'm at the age I'm doing like physical therapy exercises every day to get by. So
And I use the
I
Animaniac songs to stretch my brain. I'll be honest, trying to remember as much of The World According to Yakko Warner, because that one I don't have memorized. I
oh
do still have the State Capitol song memorized.
I'm officially going to try and get videos of Lauren doing exactly these things.
I
Just
can
saying.
send you the voice memo later of me doing the thing, doing the
Oh no,
State
no, I need
Capitals.
video.
Oh, you
I
need
need
video evidence?
I need video evidence that you are capable of doing
When we're
this.
done recording, I'll do it for you. How's that?
Yay! That will make my day so much better.
I'm glad.
See, this is why I know you love me.
But yeah, this one other than the my yelling at the child that Carson City is the capital of Nevada and not Las Vegas. I didn't pull out too many lines. Mostly I was just this is actually no, that's not true. There was one line. Was Gene saying that he's bad at picking up vibes. Did you know mom and dad were a thing? It's like that feels like a very accurate representation of how kids think
It
because
really
kids don't really
is.
pick up on that. It was just funny.
Oh yeah, I mean, my daughter's made comments like that before, but it's always a fun time when Steven and I get to be funny with the kids because I know you don't get to experience stuff like this. So I'll just look at Steven, and if Autumn won't leave us alone, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go make out with your dad. The eels and like the running away that happens is my favorite
Mm-hmm.
thing because I'll just be like, all right, I'm gonna kiss dad
Aw.
now, and she runs away.
Aw.
That was all the notes I had on this one. That was a short and sweet one, but
Ooh.
nice quick one. Ooh,
Yeah, nice
what's your
quick one.
score?
So this one I gave an 8 for plot because it's a solid plot. There is plot there with obviously
Mm-hmm.
the treasure hunt as well as Bob and Linda trying to have scheduled adult time. So it's good plot. It's entertaining. It's chaotic. We like it. Similar with character, it also got an 8 because that's just there's a lot of it going on there. There's a lot of
Yeah.
the dynamics. You also had Tina with her romance novel, using that to woo Jimmy Jr. And I was like, please, Tina, please don't use a romance novel as your roadmap. That's
The romance
bad
novel
idea.
made me think of you.
I don't use romance novels to guide my romantic endeavors. I'm far more romantic than them, if I do say so myself.
I'm also just laughing because Lauren has sent me multiple romance novels in the mail. So that's funny.
Lauren literally has a sapphic romance, or not romance, but a sapphic book spreadsheet.
Look, you have a sapphic one. I have a dragon one. We're very interesting individuals.
Yeah. We like spreadsheets. It's a good time.
So you just didn't say personal yet.
Yes, personal. So personal, I gave it a 9. Solid episode. Really enjoyed it. So overall, 2 8s and a 9. Gave it a 25.
Guess what my score is?
25.
24. I gave it 8s across the board. Oh. We were this close. Okay. We were this close to having the same score. I gave 8s across the board. I like this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not, of course, the best out there, but like this is my comfort season. I love this season so much. It is good.
That's fair.
Oh, wait. Now I got to tell you about Bob Day Afternoon. So season 2, episode 2, Bob Day Afternoon. A bank gets robbed across the street, so Bob and Linda seek this as an opportunity to get their restaurant known when the robber orders burgers. I love that you start
This one was
shaking your
also
head.
chaotic.
That's season 2.
Because like you, I mean, for the same reason, like our if anyone's been listening to both types of episodes that we post, our descriptions are very different, basically because Once Upon a Time is very plot heavy and Bob's is more vibes. But like you do such a good job at encapsulating just the best chaotic points of each episode, which is why I start laughing.
I'm happy I can help. I think the Bob's Wiki, for a lot of this, they are able to help me keep all my information like organized, and it really does help using them. They've got an entire like there's so much. They have so much on there. That's where I get a lot of these facts is through there.
Yeah, I get most of the once facts. If they're not things that I just knew, if I'm not pulling from like a direct story that I remember, it's always from the Once Upon a Time fandom wiki. Like they're the ones pulling out. Like I wouldn't have known that Longbourn was a reference to Longbourn Estate being in one of being
like
in Jane Espenson's favorite. Yeah, I wouldn't have put the connection that it would be Pride and Prejudice, and then that was the writer's favorite book. I wouldn't have put that together, but
so the store and the truck.
So we have the Pest Pesterer. I just wrote clever writers. Very clever.
Very clever.
And Hannibal's Dead Animals Taxidermy.
And that is actually a mounted buck's head next to it.
Okay.
And then the burger of the day
was charred to a crisp. It's a burger with Swiss chard. Yep. He was just getting creative with it.
Which I really love that it was like, I love when the burgers are like a part of the actual episode. It does a lot. I have quite a few notes on this because this is our first appearances of Mickey, Sergeant Bosco. This says Olsen Benner, but I don't remember who Olsen Benner is in the episode. This was with the wiki, and I'm like, and of course, Mr. Dowling at the bank.
Do we see Mickey again?
Yes. And Mickey is played by Bill Hader.
Okay, I was correct. It is Bill Hader. Okay.
For now.
For now? Okay.
He does not reprise his role in the movie.
Oh, okay.
It is a different voice actor in the Bob's Burgers movie, which makes me very sad, but I think Bill Hader was busy with other projects.
That's fair.
Because I think I don't know if it was actually made and recorded like during some of the It stuff going on. Like they planned these things so far ahead. I know he was doing It, and he's done like quite a few movies since doing It. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was just on another project.
That makes sense, especially if they wanted to do as much of this as they could, like the same way that they filmed the episodes with everyone being in the same room. That makes sense.
And I'm pretty sure they did they had to have done the movie the same way.
Probably.
To keep that same energy. Once again, Fox messes up another thing. Because we love Fox in this household. I'm saying that as a Firefly fan. Just gonna put that out there. I'm saying that as a Firefly fan. It's not a good thing. This was originally set to be the premiere episode of season 2, according to staff, until Fox's press release said otherwise.
Okay.
So not sure how this compares between the two.
Honestly, I think the Belchies makes a little more sense as a season premiere.
I liked the Belchies of the season premiere, but I can see where they were wanting to do it with this one.
Yeah.
So the episode is a parody of the 1975 film Dog Day Afternoon. The episode script, cover, and some scenes are also parodied from the film. So like throughout it, if I haven't seen the movie, so I couldn't tell you which ones, but apparently they do try to mirror some scenes, which is pretty cool. I like when shows do that.
Yeah, me too.
One of the halls at Robot College is named R2D2 Hall.
Aw, I like that.
I do too. Oh, the robots, that was a whole...
Well, that's the thing I wrote down first. I went, is that robot Bill Hader? And then 2 notes later, oh, is Bill Hader the hostage taker too? It took me a second.
Yep. I love Bill Hader. I absolutely, he's another one of those actors that they're always funny. When the hostages move to Bob's Burgers, Mr. Frond is wearing the bulletproof vest that Bob wears earlier going in.
That was one of my questions. Why did he take it off?
Well, yeah, why did he take it off? And then I had a thought whenever he went, you should let women and children go. And Bob has to remind him, you're not a woman. And Mr. Frond just says, I will tuck it so fat. I'm just sitting there like, oh God. This is the man on the, like, if he was on the Titanic, he'd be trying to slip in with the women and children. Like, that's what
Oh yeah,
Mr. Frond is.
absolutely.
That line got me though. I will tuck it. I'm just like, Frond.
But dude, that's not how that works.
That's not how that works. The cop monitoring the call between Louise and Mickey removes his headphones every time Louise shouts due to the sheer volume.
I saw that.
Because Louise is always screaming into the phone when Bosco tries to take it. That's my daddy, but she's not talking to her father.
No.
She's talking to a bank robber.
But she knows what's going to get the guy away from her.
Oh, yeah. Bosco is an interesting character. So most of these characters that you've been introduced in these 2 episodes, you're going to keep seeing them. You will see Mickey again. You will see Bosco again. Mr. Dowling, of course, like he's in charge of stuff at the bank. And then I really loved how everybody's sitting around like an audience to this bank robbery because having fish odor like down in front. Yeah. Finally, some gunplay, and I'm like, fish odor. Don't you own this?
Sitting there. He's just sitting there with his lawn chair and his flask, just having a great time.
Having a great time, and then the kids drawing penis rockets on the bags.
Yep, that definitely wasn't a fish.
That was not a fish. So my last big note that I think is fun is it makes me think of how you were doing all the stuff with the geography with Once Upon a Time and figuring things out. For me, it's this one. So
attempting.
Yes. First Oceanside Savings Bank appears for the first time in this episode. In season 1, the bank does not appear on Ocean Avenue. Between Yours Truly and Reflections is a green building, a yellow building, and an orange building, as well as a building located between Reflections and the hotel that's on the corner. From season 2 onwards, the sequence goes Yours Truly, bank, yellow building, Reflections, then the hotel. Because apparently I need to know this information. I found this with the wiki as well, and I was like, oh my God, I love knowing this.
But it's so much easier to do that for Bob's because they're not doing a whole lot of where things are. Like for the most part, you're kind of on the one street, except for maybe where the school is. With Once Upon a Time, there should be some semblance of structure to how that town works.
Exactly.
But there isn't because they used 2 towns, so the structure of it doesn't make any sense.
I think it's funny that the structure of Bob's Burgers I actually know pretty well in my head because there's other episodes where we see like just how far away like the school kinda is, and you got Wonder Wharf right there, and just where a lot of things are. And I just think that's funny that Bob's has like a very distinct geography and how it's all set up. And then we can't do the same with another show.
No, we cannot do that with Once Upon a Time. I know the structure of Main Street fairly well because that doesn't change. Like some businesses might get different signs eventually, but for the most part, like we in reference to Granny's and Mary Margaret's apartment and like where the sheriff station is I still don't know where it's supposed to be. So because we've seen that you feel free to cut this part out because I'm just going on a tangent, but there's a scene in season 2 where something happens to somebody in the sheriff station, and then the next time we see them, they're wandering out of a building because they've been attacked, but they're wandering out of town hall. Town hall and the sheriff station are 2 distinct different buildings.
I'm excited to get into that with you. Oh my goodness.
It still bothers me to this day. Sorry.
You're fine. So I actually have a note. I'm trying to remember why I wrote it, but it just says, is Lauren actually Tina? And I think, was it the Bachelor line?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's like all this stuff with the flirting and the romance novels and everything else. I'm just like, I have befriended Tina.
I think I am a little bit Tina. Just a little bit.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
I don't have the stage fright. I'll give myself that.
She does heal her stage fright, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I really had to write this down, though. Bosco really kicked a kid.
I wrote that, too. Did he just kick a kid?
He kicks a kid, and then when Jean starts doing stuff, Louise is like, oh, he'll hit you.
Well, I wrote down like midway through, these cops are terrible, and then 3 notes down from that. No, this cop specifically is terrible.
Bosco is horrible. And then the whole thing where, Linda's like, I'll do anything for you, Bobby. Come home. And she's like, can I trade these 2 for that 1? And I'm just like, if this isn't real, like, it's so accurate.
Yeah.
But then Mort just throwing out most things, Bobby.
Most things. I wrote down, oh, there's Mort.
Right? Oh, there's Mort.
There he is.
But just the random, Bob, what are you doing with Mort?
That's between Bob and Mort.
It is between Bob and Mort, but the most things, just one of my favorite lines.
Most things.
And then, of course, I love that Bob, of course, is really happy that Mickey they don't like the pizza. That is not fun for Jimmy, for his pizza to be thrown out and get to be shot up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's ouch for Jimmy Pesto's pizza.
Ouch for Jimmy. I said Jimmy. I love how happy Bob is for Jimmy to get burnt. So lots of ouch in this notes, apparently.
All of the ouch. I mean, because that one. But again, I've always speculated that Jimmy Pesto's food is not actually good. He's just the only option.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, he's not the only option.
He's the only. As far as we can tell, he's the only Italian food option.
That is fair. I don't think we've seen another Italian restaurant, because later in the show we get to see like little insights of other restaurants in that city. I don't think we ever find out the actual city name. We just call it, like, Wonder Wharf is there.
Yeah, it's the wharf.
It's the wharf. Everything's named after the wharf. But you do get to see like some of these other restaurants, and the entire town is puns.
Yeah, I believe that.
Every single one. And I'm just, all the restaurants that you get to like later on see, because there's a handful, and every time it's a pun.
Yeah. I mean, this is also like what I know we've talked about. It's clearly somewhere like up like northeast coast where this is meant to be, and you said it's kind of contentious where it is. The everything being a pun off of the area is just as much a New England thing as I would say it is a Jersey Shore thing. So it's even more of like, I still don't know. Like, I'm trying to find context clues.
I can't wait for us to get to the episode where I told you you kind of get to see a map because they go to travel, and it kind of shows you their starting point, but the way it's shown, you still can't tell fully. It's just, it's northeast.
Okay.
So I want you to keep, I'm telling you that because I want you to keep an eye out for when that happens, to see if you can pinpoint it, so you're not having to go back and go, hold on, let me go see this. Because
a lot of
it's
no, go ahead.
I
would like to know too. A lot of it's like the stereotypes of the people is what leads me to was why I lean toward Jersey Shore, but the stereotypes of the town and the area is what makes me think New England, and I have been to both.
Oh,
so I mean, from where I am in New York, the joke is you can live anywhere you want, just not New Jersey. It just, the stereotypes, I mean, I can't say the stereotypes you see on TV are accurate. I can't say that entirely. New Jersey people, please don't come for me. I love you. I love you with all my heart, but your road system is terrible. You can't make a left turn.
You and Emily were texting me about the roads.
You can't make a left turn in your state. Every time you want to go somewhere, you have to like go past where you're going, make a U-turn, and come back on the other side. I'm sorry, jug handles are stupid.
So they just have like medians everywhere?
On major roads, yeah, for the most part, you can't make left turns most places.
Living in the chaos that I do, that is the South, not very common. Like maybe in Atlanta, like you have different situations, but Atlanta is its own entity. I don't know if you've ever been, but Atlanta's wild.
I have not been to Atlanta.
You should come to Atlanta so you can see me, one, but two, like, it's so much fun stuff in Atlanta. Oh my goodness. We're there constantly. Nice. So I need to hear your other notes. I need these notes.
Okay. So I've mentioned a few because you kind of said the same things as me. But I did write down, despite what happens in the rest of the episode, hostage takers never want burgers. It's just too much cleanup. But that reminded me of an episode of The Nanny where there's a hostage in a bank and they start figuring out what to get, what to demand, and they start taking a deli order, and everyone wants like different sandwiches, and then they're fighting over where to order from. And it's just really because deli's very subjective. So especially in New York.
Okay, you got to explain again. Why are delis subjective?
Because okay, so people in New York City, we'll just stick with New York City people, are very
Okay.
specific about where they want their food from. Because, and I mean, I'm also I'm not a New York City person, but like I am subject to this, because I might like the brisket from this place, the knishes from that place, a matzo ball from somewhere else. So people are very specific about where they want their food from. So to get a group of 7 people to decide on where to order from and what to get is very hard in New York City,
Oh,
let alone a hostage situation.
because that for us, it's you have 3 choices in this town. Good luck.
Yeah, if you're in a major metropolitan area, you've got too many choices.
I didn't know if it was distinctly like Jewish not being able because like you have your delis that you really love, or
I
I
mean
was
that too.
unsure. Because I've learned some.
That's why food crawls are so
Yeah.
popular in New York City. I mean, A, because places are very close to each other, but then you can have the thing you like from here, then the thing you
Yeah.
like from that place, and you just kind of keep going.
Because I've only learned so much about like Jewish delis specifically. Is it because it's kosher?
I mean, technically, most Jewish delis are
Technically?
most Jewish delis are kosher style, because kosher specifically would mean that the food has like it's all specifically kosher certified food. Like it's which would mean that it's like,
Okay.
blessed by a rabbi in some cases. Most of the time it's kosher style. Well,
Oh
yeah, most of the time
wow.
so it's kosher. So kosher delis or Jewish delis are kosher style, meaning that you will not have a mixture of meat and dairy in that restaurant. So if they serve meat, you're not getting any dairy products
Okay.
whatsoever. Um, so that's usually what kosher style means. Like you're not like they might have a hamburger on the menu, but they're not going to have a cheeseburger. They're not going to have cheese in the building at all.
Okay.
It's going to just be, and like Jewish deli food is your brisket, corned beef, pastrami, other various. Like
I
I know.
appreciate this.
I
I'm
know. I was like,
learning.
I want to be like, what's like it? My answer is say it's Jewish. It's a Jewish deli. It's what they have at Jewish deli. So that doesn't help you here. I mean,
No, it doesn't help me. I don't know what would be in a Jewish deli because we don't have one.
I know. So matzo ball soup. I know matzo ball soup is very popular. Not always good,
I
but
love matzo ball
it's
soup.
like matzo ball soup is always available. Homemade will always be better than the deli. I have yet to find one deli that's better than homemade.
Understood. I just
Um,
need your recipe.
a box of Manischewitz matzo ball mix. That's my recipe.
Okay. Good to know.
Honestly,
No, I that
it's
I
the best
wouldn't know
mix.
that.
It's the best mix, and you make it at. Welcome to our cooking lesson. You make it to the
Right?
package instruction. Make it to the packages instruction, and then you let them sit for a little while before you boil them. And then I would boil them in water separate from your
Oh.
broth.
I should write that down, but I'll do that later. Hey, it's
I'll send
it's food.
I'll send you
That's
my.
all I'm gonna say is it's
It's
Bob's
food.
Burgers. We could talk about food.
Exactly. Some fine
Oh
noodles.
yeah.
I'm somehow I'm turning into my grandmother. Like or honestly, I think I just kind of sounded like Billy Crystal.
Oh my goodness.
Some fine noodles in there. It's always a good time. Um, but like knishes, stuff like that, latkes. I know
I
we've mentioned
love
latkes a lot on this
latkes.
podcast. But like the ones that are part mash, part shredded,
Yes.
always a good time.
I've had some Jewish food. I just don't know
Okay.
how to make it, and there is no like Jewish deli. We
Mm-hmm.
have something in where
Yeah.
I'm from originally. There is something called Arts in the Heart, and
Mm-hmm.
it's this huge festival that goes on for like a week, and different tents set up within our like commons, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just different foods from different regions. Like I've had Ethiopian food, I've gotten some Jewish food before, like everywhere. Think of it Kenyan, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
like South American countries, we have a lot of those set up as well. Like it's the only time I can
Nice.
get good schnitzel,
Mm.
which not to bring up
That's
German
important.
right after, but but
But
I
hey,
need
I'm
good
also German,
schnitzel.
so I'm also German, so that's good.
I don't know
Schnitzel,
what to say to that.
schnitzel's a good time.
I love schnitzel, but they do have a really good like but then they'll have live music, and the
Mm-hmm.
entirety of like the actual main streets of downtown are just art art booths. Crap ton of art.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. But I've been able to
Oh,
try a
that
lot of
sounds
foods
nice.
thankfully that way.
Yeah,
um
that's good.
oh yeah.
Jewish food is not without its charm. Most of it, Jewish deli food. It's like there's some things that are worth getting in a Jewish deli, and we can end our tangent soon. There there are some foods that are worth getting at a Jewish deli that are not worth making at home. Like corned beef, pastrami, or brisket. I mean, brisket is, but like it's a different style if you make it at home. But there are some things like matzo balls. Honestly, latkes are never depending on the place.
Okay.
Latkes aren't, but matzo ball soup is almost never worth it to get at a Jewish deli. Fun fact
All
to
right.
me.
I'm gonna have to try and make it.
Yeah. But I have one more funny note before now that we're off of our tangent about Jewish delis. Frond is self-certified. That is not legal.
I told you. Didn't I tell you though? I was like, we were talking about how both of the shows have unreliable like therapists, and I'm like, I don't think he's actually a therapist. He's
No,
not.
Frond is self-certified and Archie got his PhD from a curse.
So I don't think I would rely on the, so to speak, therapists in these shows.
Nope.
So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, Franz should not be doing or saying most of the things that he does.
No. Definitely not.
Oh, I'm excited. What did you score this one?
So this one got 8s for plot and character again, because, solid plot, solid character. This one got a 7 for personal, so this one got a 23 in total.
Okay.
Which is still solid. It didn't do as well as the first episode. I think this one got less just because some of the gags were a little repetitive for me, which I think is what knocked it down a little bit.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not feel the same. It's one of my favorite episodes.
That's fair.
We have a pattern today. Yeah, my plot was 10. I love this plot. Bill Hader makes it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bill Hader makes it so good. I gave character and personal 9. This is a 28. This is one of those episodes I am so excited when it comes on because I love this episode. Still not a 30 though.
Okay.
We will eventually have a 30, but today is not the day.
I think the first 30 for Once Upon a Time is soon. It's not next week, but it's soon.
I'm excited. But yeah, I had a lot of fun finding a lot of these notes though, because there's a lot of stuff that I had no idea about. I'm learning so much as we go myself. Like there's so much I had no idea about this show. Are you sure though? Because you know quite a bit about yours.
No, I know. Once upon a time, I know a little bit. I know quite a bit about like production, but like the really nuanced, like the small references that they make, that's all new for me. And like I said before, I'm watching that this at least this section of the seasons, so much slower and with so much more detail that I'm catching little lines that I honestly had never clocked before, which is just really fun to always like. It's fun that like this many times into I've seen season 1. Truthfully, I don't know how many times. To be able to still find new lines 12 years later is delightful.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's why I'm enjoying doing Bob so much, because who knows how many times I've seen these episodes myself, like season 1 and 2. I've seen a million times. And of course I knew the Goonies reference, but I never noticed that Cyndi Lauper actually did that. I was like, holy crap, how did they do that? So like,
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Once Upon a Time, episode 109, True North. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. And follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and TikTok.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Katie and Lauren and edited by Katie.